Hi everyone, welcome to the video report of Group 2. Do you know that in some part of Hong Kong, pedestrians have to navigate through crowds so dense that checking your phone isn't even an option? This is not just an inconvenience, it's a walkability crisis. Our report dives deep into the street of Mong Kok and Tseung Kwan O to uncover why. Walkability is an important indicator of sustainable mobility, referring to how friendly an area is to walking for pedestrians. High walkability indicates that the environment supports walking by various factors. According to Bay, the core evaluation factors of walkability can be divided into four matrices with specified definition. Accessibility and safety refers to the physical need, which include the smoothness and easiness of obtaining desired service as well as feeling safe from the danger of traffic, emergency while walking. Comfort and pleasurability refers to psychological and social needs, which include personal level of satisfaction, ease while walking, as well as having enjoyable and interesting areas while walking. This time, our project investigates the walkability of the two neighborhoods using these four matrices. The two areas we are focusing on is TKO Seashore and Mong Kok. The characteristic and the stereotype of both areas are below. The TKO Seashore is a new town located in Sai Kung district. The open coastal views with building on the one side making the orientation straightforward. The quiet environment with wide paths make it to be ideal for leisurely walking or cycling. It has the lowest surrounding residential density compared to Mong Kok, but here is the limited public transport option, and it is farther away from the anti-hub station. TKO Seashore is divided by the major roads with few pedestrian crossings, so it is requiring detours. Come to the Mong Kok. Tong Toi Street is an old street located in Yau Chin Wong district, and it is well connected to the MTR and the bus networks. There are dense shops and vibrant street life. However, the narrow sidewalks become crowded during the peaks, making it hard to be stopped or check phones. Also, it is surrounded by some of the world's most dense residential neighborhoods and lacks of the disability-friendly infrastructure. The similar-looking building and a complex layout making navigation via maps. These are some indicators required to assess our four matrices. Coming to the methodology, we had a field survey taking a look at these two places and had our own perspective. Moreover, we are having a survey to research about the residents and pedestrians of these two neighborhoods' view. Apart from it, we also used some online data during our research.
Moving on to the assessment of walkability matrix in Tseung Kwan O. Tseung Kwan O offers strong accessibility feature, with pedestrian pathway wide enough for side-by-side walking, and 68.2% of surveyed individuals consider the street relatively or very spacious. Crossing facilities are diverse and well-equipped, such as uncontrolled cautionary crossing and signal-controlled crossing facility, and with over 70% agreeing they are reasonable and sufficient. Signal-controlled crossing feature the latest electronic audible traffic signals, providing tactic maps, voice message for the visually impaired, and push button to adjust crossing time. However, barrier-free ramps and blind paths remain insufficient for people with disability. Moving on, obstacles in Tseung Kwan O are minimal, though some man-made obstructions persist, such as tricycle vendor placing bike on the walkways and citizen parking shared bicycle along the roadside. In terms of safety matrix, Tseung Kwan O demonstrates favorable traffic conditions with moderate vehicle flow and no sign of illegal parking. Although speed limit signal is absent, the default maximum speed of 50 km per hour is relatively low, contributing to a pedestrian safety. Building exteriors are well maintained. Air conditioning units are securely enclosed in safety cage to prevent accident, and no concrete peeling is observed on outer wall. Additionally, both signal-controlled and uncontrolled cautionary crossing are equipped with crossing island, providing pedestrians a safe refuge in case of emergency. In terms of comfort, Tseung Kwan O offers a pleasant pedestrian environment. The streets are generally clean and well maintained, with minimal litter, supported by our survey that only 80.2% of respondents report noticing voices on the street. Noise level remains low across most areas, with only a few main roads exceeding the 70 dBA threshold, indicating a low noise interruption in Tseung Kwan O district. Air quality is also satisfactory, as annual pollution concentration for key pollutants remain within the standard set by the Hong Kong government. Additionally, the area features abundant street greenery that provide ample shade for pedestrians. Supportive amenities such as drinking fountain and mosquito killing machine are in place to enhance the overall walking experience, contributing to more comfortable and enjoyable urban environment. In terms of pleasurability, Tseung Kwan O features well-defined and easily accessible pathway that significantly enhance walkability. These pedestrian roads are thoughtfully connected to various recreational spaces such as park and sport ground, allowing residents to enjoy leisure activity with ease and comfort. The integration of public space into walking network contribute to a more vibrant and enjoyable urban experience. At last, an open causal view for pedestrians.
As for walkability in Mong Kok, we will also assess its walkability using the four metrics. First, for accessibility, we can see that the community is separated by a lot of roads. However, since pedestrian crossing is frequent, visitors can still travel conveniently to different regions. As for the people with a disability, we can see that there exist elevators and ramps that can help wheelchair users to travel, but bike paths only exist in some areas. On the other hand, since there is a huge flow of pedestrians, people with a disability will probably find it very hard to travel there. As for the width of pedestrian pathway, most of the streets in Mong Kok is very narrow and crowded. According to our survey, 60% of the respondents feel that the streets are narrow. In terms of affordance, there is a mix of shops, shopping malls, restaurants, MTR stations, and bus stops. This can allow residents and visitors to shop, dine in, and commute within a small area. In the aspect of safety, we can see that pedestrian barriers exist between roads and pedestrian paths, but sometimes they are absent. As for traffic conditions, the traffic volume is high and fast on main roads, but relatively slower and lower volume on small streets. Some of the streets in Mong Kok are dedicated area for pedestrians, such as Tung Choi streets. Vehicles cannot access Tung Choi streets such that visitors can do shopping there safely. In terms of pedestrian crossing, the time for green light is mostly adequate. According to our survey, 46% reported that the green light time is enough, and only 23% says the opposite. As for the exterior conditions of buildings, there are a lot of hanging out advertisement and scaffolding. This may make walking in Mong Kok less safe, and pedestrians may feel stressful and anxious walking there. In the aspect of comfortness and pleasurability, we can see that there are heavy air and noise pollution in Mong Kok. The nitrogen dioxide pollutants has exceeded the standard, and noise is also significant in Mong Kok. Also, 63.1% of respondents of our survey has reported that Mong Kok is noise polluted. In terms of greening area, very limited or even zero greenery are found in most streets. Trees and parks can only be found on the edges of the neighborhood. After investigating the situation in Mong Kok, let's compare the two neighborhoods. We can see that Tseung Kwan O has outperformed Mong Kok in most of the aspects. The walkability rating by visitors and residents in Tseung Kwan O is also higher than that in Mong Kok. However, Mong Kok can provide a greater variety of activities that visitors can do, and it is located in the heart of Hong Kong. This may explain why Mong Kok has way more visitors than Tseung Kwan O, even though Tseung Kwan O is a generally more walkable neighborhood than Mong Kok. Now, let's discuss the way to improve the walkability in Tseung Kwan O and Mong Kok.
Moving on to the improvement. To enhance walkability in Tseung Kwan O, improvement can be made across both accessibility and preservability matrix. On the accessibility front, Government departments should conduct regular inspection of public facilities to identify and repair damage, while also addressing illegal occupation of public space to ensure unobstructed pedestrian flow. Additionally, constructing a well-connected network of blind paths would greatly benefit visually impaired individuals, enabling safer and more direct access to their destination.
To improve accessibility in Mongkok, we can improve more recreational land use such as parks and library that is close to the center of Mongkok. This can provide easier and convenient access of leisure activities and food place. To improve safety walking in Mongkok, the government could ask landlords to carry out compulsory and frequent checking and maintenance of scaffolding and hangout advertisements. On the other hand, we can limit cars from entering Mongkok using ways such as electronic toll collection. Also, implementing speed checks can further protect pedestrians from fast traffic. To improve the confidence walking in Mongkok, we can add more greenery and encourage the use of electric vehicles to improve both air and noise pollution.
During our investigation, we encountered several difficulties that affected our data collection and the reliability of our results. First, it was not easy to approach citizens to complete our survey. The questionnaire took a few minutes to finish, and many people were unwilling to stop. We also received quite a number of rejections, especially when people were in a rush or simply did not want to be surveyed. For example, in Cheongkwon-o, most people were walking their dogs, jogging, or exercising along the seafront, so they prefer not to pause their activities. Second, we noticed that most of the respondents who agreed to participate were either elderly people or teenagers, as they had more free time. This resulted in a potential age bias, meaning our survey may not fully represent other age groups, especially the working adults who were harder to approach. Third, some participants did not answer the survey carefully. A few respondents answered the questions just to finish quickly, which affected the quality and accuracy of the data, particularly for subjective perceptions such as comfort and satisfaction. Lastly, when we collected data in Mongkok, we faced a different challenge. The area was filled with tourists, so it was difficult to find the actual residents living in Mongkok to complete our survey. As a result, some responses might reflect tourist impressions rather than the daily experiences of locals. Overall, these challenges reminded us that primary data collection in real environments is not always straightforward. If we had more time, we could reduce the survey length or collect data at different times of the day to improve the response quality.
To conclude, our comparison between Mongkok and Chunkwang clearly shows that walkability is not a single and simple concept. Instead, it's kind of balance between different urban or regional qualities. Mongkok excels in terms of transportation convenience due to its excellent transportation network and high density of destinations, but it's affected in terms of comfort and safety due to crowded, noisy, and narrow streets. On the other hand, Chunkwang has wide, clean, and scenic passengers, providing a high level of comfort, safety, and pleasure, but is lacking accessibility for people with disabilities and residents who need better public transportation connections. So, what makes a community truly walkable? Our project shows that a highly walkable area requires more than just convenience. It must also be a place where people feel safe, comfortable, and happy to spend time. While Mongkok is powerful in function, its tense environment can be overwhelming. Chunkwang, though pleasant, lacks the vibrant street life and ultimate convenience characteristics of a dense urban center. This brings us to the core principle of urban design. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. The goal should to be learn from the strengths of each area. Finally, our investigation itself serves as a valuable lesson. We encountered real-world challenges such as investigation rejections and potential age bias, which reminded us that the collection of raw data requires careful planning and willpower. In the end, creating truly pedestrian-friendly cities means creating healthier, more sustainable, and more livable communities for everyone. Thank you.